Hello, you're listening to TCG Shorts. We're short.
And TCG?
Yes, all of the above. Yeah. Usual quick little side episode for you guys. One I wanted to talk about today is Jace. I'll pose this to you. When you go to a tournament,
Yes.
why do you go? What makes you choose a particular tournament to go to participate in?
Yeah. And so off the basis that there is multiple to choose from, the calendar is full, we have to prioritize. How do we do it? Few things I really look for. And it's funny because it's probably only partially to do with the game.
Mm-hmm.
Once upon a time, it was I played pick a game. I played that game and I went to all of the tournaments for that game. Now,
post COVID, we can't do that. If we say pick Blood Bowl, like there would be 1 to 2 tournaments a month.
That before responsibility, that was my jam. If there was, and it was literally a case of, and this is, Warhammer days, I was playing at least one tournament a month.
Mm-hmm.
And they were all over the place. We were going to Sydney, we were doing Brisbane, we were doing it it was the best. Responsibility, adult life is a thing. We have to be a little bit more picky and choosy. So I think there's a few things for me. One is 1 or 2 days. And pragmatically, it is tricky to get a 2-day leave pass for literally anything. Toy Soldiers is not up there with priorities. So a 1-day tournament is always going to be preferable for me over multiple because I can spend the other with a family.
Yep. Agreed.
A lot of it is the nature of the tournament, in that there are a lot of tournaments that are run, rightly so, for some kind of accolades. It is, you look at Masters Series or World Cup qualifiers, and I am not doing any of those things. And I don't want to go. I don't care if I go to a tournament and lose every game, but I don't want that to be ideally a sure thing until I'm involved in the game.
Yep.
And so there is absolutely a reason that some people go to these events for these things. And if that is the kind of event that someone is pitching for, it's the go hard or go homes, I'm going home. And I think what we see is across a range of games, different choices for that. Like there are tournaments going for different reasons. And so I will generally choose hey, this is super cash. We're just having some fun. We're all, learning. It's friendly if you've played our first couple of games, because I enjoy being somebody new to a gaming scene and having those people go, hey, no, we'll show you how this works. It's cool. I enjoy the other side of that, playing someone going, I know this is game number 2 for you, and that's cool. Let's make sure you get something out of it. I think that's it. Logistically, locations, like if you tell me we're playing 4, 5, 2.5 hour games over a day and it's going to be 13, 14 hours of me with travel and everything, that's death.
How to say we're old without saying we're old, hey?
It is a legitimate concern. And then who else is going is probably one of the biggest factors. Who do I get to go play games with? Because I want to do this with excellent people. And there's a lot of people playing a lot of games, and I don't get to play a lot of games with everyone I would like to. So if there is a crowd going that I know I would love to get some games in with and I don't normally get a chance to, that's a pretty huge draw card as well.
Yeah, no, agreed on that one. I mean, my most recent one that I went to, there are a lot of people that I know that I've met before who were saying hi and all the rest of it, and that was great. But at the same time, I would have loved to not be the only person in pink there. So, yep, agree with you so far on everything. Like, competitive play is not where I'm at. It's never been where I'm at. I think there were a couple of card games in the past where I played to win, but those days are long behind me. You know, if I can go to a tournament and win a game, I'll be more than happy. I don't need to do anything but that, and sometimes I don't even need to do that. Logistically, again, yeah, it does make a difference. I'm, more likely to hit something in Geelong or, somewhere like Ballarat, as opposed to, unfortunately, Ringwood or something on the other side of the city, because logistically getting there is a lot more of a hassle. You add construction time that always seems to be going on in Melbourne at the moment, let alone if the tournament is in Melbourne. Like, driving in Melbourne is the worst.
And I'm not taking public transport.
I'm not. But I hated driving in Melbourne when I lived in Melbourne.
Mm-hmm.
I've been out of Melbourne for 9 years now, and I don't hate it. I loathe it. Like, it is the worst. I think the last time I had to drive to Melbourne was for a family dinner. And I got to about, 20 minutes away. And that took me another hour.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it was. I know I wasn't happy. And the moment I got to the dinner, everybody else was there waiting for me and was offering to order me food. And I'm like, I don't even know what's there. And I think the first words out of my mouth was, this is absolutely stupid. I'm not doing this again. Organize your family dinners for close-up. So let alone, anything else. Another thing for me is, realistically, I'm not going to do well in a tournament. I'm just going to go there, have fun, play a couple of games of, something I like or something that I haven't played before too much and I want to get to know better. So loot is a big thing for me. I like getting little bits and pieces and stuff that I wouldn't have if I didn't go. Whether I use said loot ever again is another question. I got a whole heap of stuff from the Malifaux tournament that we went to way back when. I don't think I've used those measuring tools or things that I got there, but I got it. And, for me, it's something that I can take home. I've got the experience and I've got a little thing that whenever I look at it, I'll go, I remember that.
That's a really interesting one because I have a drawer full of shit I've picked up at tournaments that I'm never looking at and it just lives in a drawer. And I think I love the idea of this, but I think the piece that I really, really like is when I go to a tournament and I know that the person running it cares about the experience of the players. Mm-hmm. And that might be through, organizing extra shit and loot and take home and that kind of fun. It could be through any number of things, but I've also been to tournaments where you've rocked up and then somebody's like, oh, okay, well, it's supposed to start 20 minutes ago, so I suppose we should do this. And they kind of, go, all right, you play you over there and you play you. And that's the level of organization. And there is a spectrum in between that. I don't know if I could
deal with that.
There is a spectrum of organization in between there. It would destroy my soul to be the person running that. But I really like it when it is obvious, and it is obvious, how much the person organizing it cares about the players and the experience they have. It's not just a rinse and repeat. It's not just an easy thing to do. It is something that they are, really conscious of. And I think there's 1,000 different ways that someone could show that. Loot is one of them, but that's the piece I really like.
Yeah, you don't want them to do something like, I don't know, like copy and paste, the number 6 into a player's pack instead of the number 5 and leave, spelling mistakes in there and stuff like that.
If that is the worst that they can manage, and I think I've missed at least one of those every single year, at least.
We are nothing if not consistent. Hey,
that's it. But yeah, I think that's absolutely a piece. And, there's multiple ways you could do it. But sometimes I can give and take the loot just because I have so much shit. When it ends up being something that's useful for the game that I haven't got, it's really handy, and it becomes the thing that I use, and it is there. And then sometimes it lives in the drawer.
Fair. So you probably have a bigger drawer of tournament loot than I do. Yeah, I've gone to a few, but not overly many. I've strictly avoided any sort of Warhammer events. I do have a glass from an Underworlds tournament, which was way too stressful. I don't know if I'll ever want to do that again. I was playing to win that one, and I did by the skin of my teeth. But I'll go and play even just like Monday night events, quick, Star Wars Unlimited games, organised by Guff or whoever. And, I'll walk out of that with maybe a couple of promo cards and stuff like that. That's enough for me. It doesn't have to be, everything, but I do like walking away with something.
To your earlier point too, the other piece is who else is going to the tournament from my regular gaming group. And sometimes it's the drive up and back that is actually the most fun out of the thing. It is showing up with your mates. And to that point, it's hard to organize sometimes, but stuff like teams events and doubles and things like that, where there is more of a social community aspect to it, like that kind of fun is like, it adds to the experience. It adds to the overall thing. You can rip on whoever it is for dragging their whole team down for the rest of their lives, and that's important. So that kind of stuff, if you can make it happen, works. They are harder to run.
We did try that once, but it didn't get off the ground.
No.
And I was speaking to Paris the other night, and he was saying a lot of those sort of, Star Wars Shatterpoint and Marvel Unlimited things do... Marvel Crisis Protocol. Too many things with Unlimited in the name. Anyway, or United, or, words to that effect. A lot of them tend to be sort of team-based as well, which I find really interesting, and I'd love to get to a team event of something at some point, and be that one that drags the whole team down and that everyone can give shit to.
I will say, on the flip side, if I see a tournament advertised and I see in the social media or the community kind of channel, however they're chatting, if you start seeing real hyper competitive like clicks, that's the piece too that I sometimes be like, oh, I'm not interested. So I also find the community is both, it can be an attractor and a detractor in that instance as well. So that's an interesting little piece.
Yeah, all good points.
Very little of these have to do with the actual game being played though, which is interesting.
Yeah. So, I mean, there are games that I play that I will go to tournaments for, and if there's enough interest to draw me, I'll go to games which I don't know that I'm interested in playing more of, like I did with Malifaux that time. I don't know if we might have had one or two practice games beforehand, but that would have been it as far as my experience level goes. Yeah, all interesting points, and if you've got any comments that you guys want to make, please let us know, because we are always looking to run, events that people want to attend.
That is generally the idea of these things. So what makes it something you want to go to? What makes it something you don't want to go to? I think both of those would be excellent things to understand. I'm keen to hear what other people have to play or have to say about what they want to play.
Yes. Definitely. That'll do us. Laters.
Gotcha.